And welcome to Strongsville High School. I'm here with always is Max Cuevas. How you doing, Max?
Good. How are you?
I'm good, and we're here for a wonderful evening of wrestling. It is senior night here. Our first match, we will start at 126 with Ray Porter, a senior. Max, how do you see this one laying out here?
It's going to be a tough match.
It's going to be a tough match.
Senior night for Ray Porter. This will be his last hurrah, and I know he's looking forward to wrestling one more time at home.
And for Solon, we have Max Luden. For Strongsville, your own Ray Porter. Now, Max, right off the bat, what do you think Ray's looking for here?
He's looking for his fireman, looking for good setups, looking to take his shots.
Oh, and a single by Solon. Max wants to... What's Ray want to do in this position?
Well, he wants to use that front headlock that he's got right now. Keep snapping it into the mat. Look to turn, get two.
And they're on their feet. Ray looks for an ankle pick as Solon looks for a toss. Now it's Ray on a single. He could get two right here.
Inside single. Nice trip by Porter.
Takedown, 2. And we're out of bounds. Score is 2-0 with 1:17 left in the first period. Ray, just a tough wrestler on top to have. You do not want to be on bottom against him. He's going to look for that bar. And it looks like he's got it. And there's his back points. He's going to look for the fall right here. This will be huge for Strongsville to get back those forfeits from 106, 113, and 120. And there it is. Your winner, 126, senior Ray Porter. We can make a career out of this. You want to announce, Jeremy? And up next for Strongsville, returning state alternate and senior Jeremy Resbeck. Jeremy wrestles tonight against Josh Wexler at the 132-pound weight class. Jeremy already in on a nice front headlock. They're on their feet.
And on the side, he's looking to lock the cradle.
And it looks like he's got it. He needs to settle back here. This could be a quick pin. He's looking for the fall early. Oh, and he takes it the other way. Can he finish on top? It's crazy how athletic Jeremy Resbeck is on top. Don't you agree, Max?
It really is. He's a stud wrestler. He really prides himself in working his top positions and working at all angles.
Right you are. He still has that cradle. He's got plenty of time here to finish this. A minute left in the first. Looking to bring it back in the center of the mat.
And they'll get a fresh start.
And they go out of balance. 5-0 is the score here in the first period.
54 seconds left.
And he cuts him loose. Score is 5-1. 40 seconds left. I know Coach Al Pacillo and Coach Albert Matson are really looking for a six-point match here with a pin from Jeremy Resbeck to bring Strongsville back into this match. And Solon in on a single. He's got it up. Jeremy's going to look to scramble out of this. Jeremy needs to be calm and patient here. He needs to look where he's at. He's close to out of bounds. No score yet. And that's going to be 2 for Solon. 7 seconds left. 3-5 is the score.
Very short time here. Jeremy can still cut and get up and get one.
And he needs to if Strongsville wants to stay in this dual meet. Jeremy finds hands. Time's running down. 3 seconds. All right, and we're going to go into the second period with Solon down by 2 points. And Jeremy chooses to go on bottom here in the second. Jeremy's been wrestling his whole life. Very close to the state tournament last year, and his goal to be in the state finals. With a quick stand-up, that makes the score 6-3.
Jeremy's a key component here as a senior on the team. He's been wrestling with Strongsville for many years now and really has bought into the program. And Strongsville really depends on him as one of the leaders to set the example by the right way. And on a double here,
and
2.
That's 2. He's going to look for that cradle again, just really fluent with that cradle all match long. Jeremy goes out in front and lets him go. 1 Solon.
Score's now 8-4, second period with about 55 seconds left.
Oh, and Solon tries to drag, gets caught on bottom. This could be a cradle, and he goes for a leg cradle. He's getting back points. Jeremy with a very athletic leg cradle there. You don't see that often, do you, Max?
No.
And now he's got a bar locked up on the opposite side. He's got a wrist on the other side.
Got to take big steps out to that head.
He's going to look for a fall right here. 28 seconds. And he's got it.
Big steps.
And there's his back points. He's got his 5 count.
Short time here.
For those of you at home watching, a 5 count on his back is 3 points for Jeremy. So he's awarded 3 back points. 3 seconds left. What's the score? 15-4?
Yeah, 15.
15-4, Jeremy's lead. Leg cradle.
I know, it's crazy.
It's going to be Solon's choice here in the third period if he wants to go top, bottom, or neutral. Some confusion here now between refs. Max, what do you think is going on right now?
Could be trying to figure out the score. Maybe
Solon arguing that wasn't really a point. Could be a number of things. And we're back to the action. Red choosing down. The score is 13-4. Jeremy up by 11, which is a major decision. Now up by 10. A major decision is 8 points or more, awarding Strongsville 14 points. A tech fall is a win, 15 points, awarding Strongsville 5 points, and a pin is awarding Strongsville 6 points. A nice takedown by Jeremy on the edge of the mat. 15-5, 15-4. 16. Cut him out. Get another one. Yep. Jeremy's kicking him out, making it 16-6. He's holding on to that major. Strongsville's looking for a 6-point.
Nice front head by Jeremy.
And he brings it down to the mat. He's going to look to spin around and get his 2 or attack an ankle. Solon deep on that Russian tie. He 360 spins out, and he lifts in a double takedown.
Nice takedown by Jeremy. About a minute left here in the third.
And he's kicking him out again, really pushing the pace here. Just in this third period, just all Jeremy Resbeck right now. Another single here. And he goes right into a cradle. He's going to look to take him to his back. He needs to get that head in the hole. Max, what's he looking to do with this cradle here?
Wants to lock it up and drive across his body.
When he loses it, looks like he's going to go for another takedown. 20 seconds. He needs a takedown to his back. 19-8, 19-6, or 19-9, I believe. And he gets another one.
Short time here.
And that's the match. Jeremy winning 21-9, giving Strongsville 4 team points. Next up, senior Chase Amato. And he is wrestling Danny Morellian from Solon. Chase is a senior. He hasn't he's been around the sport his whole life. Hasn't wrestled a whole season until last year and this year. He's really taken to the sport, and he came a long way since his freshman year. Solon with a nasty rush in here. He's deep on that elbow. Chase needs to get his elbow in. Solon backing on that Russian. Chase really needs to find a way to counter this Russian tie, or he's going to be in trouble all night. He's on his back. Chase is close to out of bounds. He needs to look where he's at and try to get a fresh start here, and he does. Solon awarded 3 back points and a takedown, 2, making the score 5-0. The team score is now 10-18, Solon winning. Strongs are looking to put on big points on the board here. And the upper weights. This kid went to state last year. He beat Erdelak last year. Now Chase is looking for a dump here on the bottom. He's deep on that front headlock. Max, what is Chase looking to do? Would you say he's looking to get on his feet and get out of that front?
I would say he needs to back out, come down on that elbow,
he needs a fresh start.
Stand up.
Close on the edge of the mat here, and they're going to have a fresh start. 16 seconds, Chase down 5-1. And deep on a low single here, a quick shot. He needs this takedown. Solon rolling in on an ankle.
Nice scramble here.
Scramble
Solon
situation.
Chase
needs to keep moving. Now chasing on an ankle.
Got short time.
Nothing.
Excitement here towards the end of the first period.
Absolutely. And there's Brett Tomford. Hello, Brett. So Solon chooses down in the second. Chase needs a turn here, a quick tilt perhaps. Solon on their feet. Chase looking to mat return. You better be careful, he's going to get a stalling call. Chase needs to make something happen. Come on, do it, Jeremy. Let's do it. You announce the match, I'll do Jeremy. Damn it. Solon with the stand up 6-1. Chasing on a front headlock, looking to score here. Still a close match. Anyone's match still. Al's looking at us. Waved out. Solon backing on that Russian. They've been just utilizing that move all day, Max.
Yeah, this Solon wrestling team really likes to work their Russian ties.
Russian ties are big on tilts from the top. Very technical team. "25 seconds. Chase needs to get his offense off here. 6-1.
Score 6-1. Second period with about 15 seconds left. Both wrestlers looking a little bit gassed here.
And Chase in on a possible scoring position again with the period winding down, and that's going to do it for the second period. And it's going to be Chase's choice, whether he wants top, bottom, or neutral, and he's going to go down. 6-1, you're in the down position, and 2 minutes left. What is Chase looking to do here, Max?
And Chase is looking to get up, get out, score, cut, get one. Really needs to get his offense going and push the pace.
Needs to get that needs to get that escape and takedown right away. He just needs to turn it on here in the third period.
He's got to start working hands, come up.
Solon being very tough on top here. Chase finds a hand, and that's
he scoots
one. And
and he'll get one.
He needs to turn it on here. Really look for his offense, waste no time. Chase on an elbow, needs to get to his feet with that. And he does. As you said, Max, both wrestlers are looking a bit gassed here in the third period.
Mm-hmm.
Chase looking to go big. He's got an underhook on the left side. Right side, sorry.
Needs to circle towards that underhook. Use it. There's a shot. Solon looks
down
like
the edge of the mat and a fresh start.
Off.
55 seconds. Chase needs to make something happen here. Tries that low single again. This time gets caught right away in a front headlock.
Solon looking to use that front headlock. Try and get two.
And a stalemate is called.
Start neutral again.
42 seconds left.
Chasing on a front headlock here.
Coach Al Pasillo on the edge of his seat, knowing he needs this match if he wants to stay in this Solon dual meet. Chase is on a front headlock. He knows he needs to try something here.
Got short time.
He needs a home run. 5 seconds. And that'll do it. Strongsville takes their first loss at 138. Final score 6-2, Solon. Yeah, that's it. Colin Walsh, senior.
Up next, we have senior Colin Walsh at 145, wrestling returning state 145 from Solon, Nathan Langston.
Langston is a returning state qualifier. Solon's, I would say, best kid in their lineup this year. This is Colin's first year since 8th grade wrestling a whole season. His buddy Brandon Kingston, wrestling 160 today, decided he wanted to come out this year, and Colin said, why not? I'll give it a shot. And he's been having a lot of fun and improved quite a bit from the beginning of the season. Ooh, no takedown here. Way to stay solid by Colin Walsh. No score yet.
Nice
and
scrambles.
Colin with a takedown. And a reversal, too. Colin Walsh taking down state qualifier Langston for the first period.
Both kids wrestling very tough the first period.
Not easy to do. Colin's got his leg hooked. He needs to get that leg out of there, get up, get his one. .30 seconds here on the edge of the mat. Colin really needs to move down there. Solon locking up a cradle. Colin's looking to be in danger here, and he breaks out of it. As Solon locks it back up and goes the other way. Short time, 5 seconds. Colin needs to fight for 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Oh, a second left in the first period. You hate to see matches like that, don't you, Max?
Some good wrestling, this first period. But Solon coming out on top.
A second left. Up next, we have senior Brandon Kingston for 152 pounds.
And from Solon, we have Morgan Peterson.
Brandon is also a senior, and he's been around since about 8th grade. This is his first year wrestling a whole season. Why it took him this long to get into it, I do not know. And they're out of bounds. 0-0. Well, it should be 0-0, right? Yeah. Why did it say 2-4?
All right. Nice front head. Throw by both wrestlers back neutral.
Scores wrong. Scores wrong. It's just 2-4. Solon using that Russian tie again. And drives Brandon off the mat. They're going to restart here with 1 minute and 10 seconds left. Oh, and Brandon on a nasty reshot double.
Nice front headlock. He's going to look to score off of here.
He tries to throw by. They're back on their feet. 30 seconds left here in the first. Brandon gets out of that Russian and into his own tie nicely. "15 seconds, and that's a fresh start. Short time, no score. And that's going to do it here in the first. Strongsville trailing 10-27 to Solon.
Start of the second period, both going neutral here.
Both wrestlers looking to get their offense off. Solon right back in on that Russian tie, looking for it. He falls into an underhook. Takedown to Solon and fresh start. Brandon's going to start down. Two nothing here with a minute left in the second period. .50 seconds. Brandon needs to get up and get one. And he's looking to do it here. Looking for hand control and back pressure. And Brandon falls into a stack. He's looking to scramble out. He's on his back. This 10 seconds. This could be a fall. 5 seconds, needs to fight off his back. And that'll do it. He fights off his back for 10 seconds. And that'll force a third period. What? Are you sending it to him? Brandon trailing 5-0. Solon choosing down.
Solon looking to push the pace here.
6-0. 6-0. Solon.
Solon up 6-0 here with a minute 20 left in the third period.
And he's on deep on a shot, no score, and we're going to restart.
I think the biggest thing with the wrestling in the third period is maintaining a good stance, Mike. A lot of wrestlers get sloppy from time to time.
100%, especially going into that third period. You're gassed, you're winded.
Need to maintain a good stance and keep your elbows in. Make sure to look for your shots and try and push the pace. It's the last period. You got to give it all that you got.
It's where they really test their conditioning, Max.
Right you are, Mike.
Thank you. Trying to get up Jeremy and Ray for an interview. You trying to get up Jeremy and Ray for an interview? That'd be sick. Let's do it. Oh, yeah. No, he wouldn't. Whatever. Takedown by Solon. 8-0 here with 33 seconds left in the third.
Short time here with about 10 seconds left in the third. Solon's still up. 8-0.
Brandon on his back, 5 seconds left. And he gives up the pin with 2 seconds left. You just hate to see that happen, don't you, Max?
Oh, yeah.
And that'll do it for the 160 bout, or 152 bout, sorry. Next up, 160, senior, Jake Tomko.
And from Solon, we have Eloy Vasquez.
Jake's been wrestling since he was about 6th grader. Been around the sport his whole life.
Both wrestlers a lankier build for 160, a little bit taller.
Jake normally wrestles 152, but they bumped him up here so we can get senior.
For a good scramble. Jake looking for that crossface to turn around and get 2. Needs to kick that leg free.
Oh, and now Jake in trouble here. He's trying to scramble all that single leg Solon's got. Good scramble here in the first.
Both wrestlers working the edge of the mat.
Jake really needs to get on that head. Get on that head and straighten his leg out. There it is. He's got the crossface. Now Jake looking to score.
Just got to kick that leg.
This could turn into a stalemate. He's got the ankle. He just needs to get around. Needs to straighten that leg out.
And it looks like Jake's going to get 2.
And he gets the 2 on the edge of the mat. What a scramble there from Jake Tomko.
Exciting wrestling match so far.
Absolutely. Jake normally, as I was saying, wrestles 152 pounds, but Al Pacillo was letting senior Brandon Kingston to wrestle in the lineup today, and he is Jake Tomko's backup. So Jake went up, allowing Brandon to wrestle. How about that, Max?
How about that? Both wrestlers out of bounds. Solon on bottom, Jake Tomko on top. And Jake with the longer build that he has, throwing in the boots, looking to come cross body with that.
A lot of those tall wrestlers, really good with the legs.
Oh, yeah.
Jake really knows how to work those boots just to tire out his opponent and look for that turn.
Once you have the boots in, too, Mike, it's a very comfortable position that, you can really wear a wrestler out with.
Absolutely. Two seconds, and that'll do it. Jake Tomko up 2-0. Jake Tomko choosing the bottom position, looking to get up and get one. Tries to find hands right away, and he does. Looks like he has the hands. He's going to let the come up now. Jake working to
get up. Yep, he's going to cut. No.
Ooh, and a bit of a scramble here as Solon finds his way back on top. Jake finding the hands again.
Planting that head on the mat, looking for hands, looking to come up and get one.
And he's got the hands. He's looking for his stand-up. He's trying to come up. Solon in on an ankle. Jake going to his back. Seems the belly out here.
No count.
And getting the hands
Jake
again.
gonna
He's
cut.
on his
Oh.
feet. Solon backing on that leg. And no
Nice
score
return
here.
by Solon.
Solon doing a great job of getting down on that ankle before Jake Tomko is able
Eloy
to escape.
Vasquez very tough on top, riding Tomko with about a minute left to go in the second period.
Right you are.
Thank you.
You're welcome. .45 seconds, no score here. Jake still up 2-0. Jake finding the hands again and locking hands on top. Max, for the folks at home, what does locking hands mean for the top wrestler?
Well, locking hands is a 1 point for Strongsville, or for anybody that's on top that locks hands. One more.
You can lock hands anywhere on your feet, but if you're on the top position on the mat, you are not allowed to lock hands.
Jake really needs to come up and get one here. My senior year wrestling in 2012, Big Al Pasillo told us that if you won't be able to win matches if you can't get out.
And it looks like he could get the escape, taking Al Pasillo's advice. We'll
Jake
see.
very close
That
here.
looks like one. That looks
that's
like one. He gets
one.
an escape at the end of the period. Wow. Great wrestling by Jake Tomko, up 4-0. Solon's choice. And he chooses down. Jake needs to be smart here on bottom. No rolls. Does not want to get ended up on his back here.
Jake looking to work his breakdowns here to try and turn.
He just wants to be active on top. Make sure he doesn't get a stalling call.
Make sure you come off the hips, come out to the sides.
Just wants
Continue
to keep
work.
working.
Right you are.
Thank you. And I'd like to thank our sponsors. You don't mind sponsors? Wait, we don't. Jake doing a great job riding here on top. 1:20 left. Let's see if he can ride him out the rest of the period.
Jake working hard here. Minute to go. Trying to crawl up the body.
.35 seconds. It looks like he might just ride him out the rest of the period for the win. 4-0 still, Jake Tomko.
And 20 seconds left to go here in the third. Jake's still working on top. Jake jumping sides.
5
like
seconds, and
he's
it looks like
most
he's
likely
going to
gonna
do
ride.
it. Wow, tough on top by Jake Tomko. You don't see a ride out like that often.
No, you just don't.
Not anymore.
Oh, no.
Oh. Great wrestling by Tomko. Good job, Jacob, the senior from Strongsville High School. Heck of a match. Why don't you tell them who we got next, Maxwell?
Well, from
Nick
a
Maggie.
Solon, we got 170, Marquise Churn, excuse me.
And from Strongsville, we have senior Nick Nagley, and Joe DeLuca would like me to advertise his company, Joe DeLuca Cement. Joe Cement. There's no cement like Joe's. And Nick, 0-2 is back. Looks like a bit of an injury here. You hate to see that happen. And we're back to the action here. 4-0, Solon down. And Nick to his back. He needs to fight.
Strongsville looking to roll him through here.
Now Nick caught on bottom. What a turn of events here in the first period still. Nick looking for a Peterson. And now he's looking for the reversal. And a bit of a funky, awkward position here. That looks like a reversal too. Nick Nagley, Strongsville. Now he's looking for back points, and he's getting a count. He needs to be sure not to let Solon roll through here. And he gets a little high on the hips. He's going to be rewarded 2 back points, though. Solon, a reversal, 2. 9-7. Now it's Solon catching Strongsville on his back. A really wishy-washy match, if you ask me, right, Max?
Oh, absolutely.
Score is going to be 9-10, Solon. Real back and forth matchup here. Nick looking to lock up a cradle on the opposite side. You got Jeremy's number?
Yeah.
Nick needs to be careful he doesn't get too high here and cause another reversal. And he gets his hips back on top. He's looking for that cradle on the opposite side. And he got a little sloppy on the hips. That might be a reversal. And it is 12-9, sorry, Solon's lead. A minute left here in the second.
Looking for that Turk here.
And he does get the Turk. But a reversal from Nick Nagley, Strongsville, and he's getting back points. This could be the match. Solon flat on his back. He's looking for the fall, and Nick getting sloppy on the hips. And now Nick's caught on his back. He needs to do everything he can to get out.
Got 30 seconds here.
30 seconds. Nick bridging with everything he's got, giving up back points. He needs to keep working. And it looks like a finger, an eye poke here from Nick Nagley. A bit of a technical violation here, as they believe an eye poke caused some disturbance. Still disputing whether it was an eye poke or not. Score seems to be 14-19. Strongsville losing.
Very high scoring match. You don't see this often, do you, Mike?
Highest scoring match I've ever seen in a long time. Did you okay. It's like a bit of some controversy here with the Solon refs, or Solon coaches, sorry, disputing whether or not the score is correct. Both wrestlers taking their time, catching their breath. And looks like wrestling is getting ready to get back started. Nick seems to have tweaked his finger a bit, getting taped up here by Steve, the trainer.
Steve Pritchard, a great trainer. Same with Joe Kopak. Shout out to them for
being there forever since I was a freshman back in 08.
You were a freshman in 07. I was a freshman in 08.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure.
Well, let's get back to the action here. Not worry about that last comment. 07, 08. And they are cutting injury time. Here we go. 17 seconds left in the second of this very high intensity match. Dude, I texted Jeremy if you want to interview that.
Quick shot from Solon right off the whistle here.
Nick on a front headlock. He needs to be smart here.
Looking to almost take that over with a cement mixer.
Nick's muscle is just ridiculous. A lot of kids can't tie up with Nick for that reason.
With the end of the second period here, score is 14-19.
What?
Solon up 19-14. Start of the
get
third
out
period.
Get his takedowns going right away. He's down 5 points in this very high scoring matchup at 170 pounds. Text Jeremy. He wants an interview. I think I texted the wrong number. Nick now giving up back points. He needs to make something happen with short time to do it. Nick looking to grab an arm, looking for a reversal. Solon doing a good job being tough on top, looking for another turn. Nick now down 19-22. Or 14-22, sorry. "35 seconds. Nick needs to make something happen. He's looking for a reversal. Needs to get that boot out. He might give up more back points here. He needs to be smart. And that's going to do it. Nick Nagley losing 14-22. Up next is his brother Christian at 182 pounds. Christian is a junior. And he is up against, Max, why don't you tell him? Tell the people at home.
He is up against, I believe it's Davion Parker.
Ooh, Davion Parker.
If I'm wrong, I apologize, but it should be an interesting match nonetheless.
Christian wrestled Davion at conference tournament last weekend.
GCC, Greater Cleveland Conference.
Yes.
Change that around. It's got us all messed up now, Mike.
Sure does, doesn't it?
Uh-huh.
Christian was up about, I believe, 2-1, and Davion caught Christian on his back, getting the pin.
A nice sprawl there.
He looks to avenge that loss here tonight. See if he can do it. Minute 35, no score.
Solon working the edge of the mat here.
Out of bounds again.
Start neutral.
Both wrestlers just sort of feeling each other out here, not really too much action. They tie up. Minute left. Christian looking for a front headlock on the edge of the mat, and they're out.
Mike, with coaching all these kids all year long,
yes.
what do you stress to them most about going into this sectional tournament here?
We needed to work on our stand-ups, really. Our stand-ups on bottom, on top, our pinning combinations, basically on the mat. On our feet, we're solid. On the mat, we need a lot of work. But I think all these wrestlers are getting it, that this is it. It's crunch time. It's ready to go. And I think they're really going to turn it on for sectionals.
Right. That'll be 2 by Solon.
Also hand fighting. They can't be afraid to go in and look for their setup, wrestle their match,
Looking
not
for
be
that
intimidated
Turk.
by the other wrestler. And Solon really working on their Turks today, where he's going to hook that leg, and Solon's going to try to go across the face and take Christian over the other way. And it looks like he might.
Got short time here.
And he switches to a bundle. Christian needs to do
First period.
5 seconds. He needs to fight off his back, and he does. No back points awarded for Solon. First period ended 2-0 Solon.
Well, I think going into the second part of the season too, Mike, you got to look at, taking care of your body and doing all that you can to, get better every day.
Staying healthy is a big part of this second half of the season.
But being very technical and continuing to learn as the season goes on how to not only work new moves, but also take care of your body at the same time.
Absolutely. We suffered quite a bit of injuries this year. Our 170 out with injury currently, and Jeremy coming off of an injury, and he just got cleared to wrestle again. And looking forward to that state tournament.
Mm-hmm.
It's what it's all about, isn't it, Max?
Well, many wrestlers have also said, too, that, just going through the daily workouts and the lifts and the practices, it's almost as if it's dog years on your life. So it's very hard to keep your body in shape, but also once you get into wrestler shape, you could benefit from it tremendously.
100%. Couldn't have said it better myself. Staying healthy at this part of the season is one of the biggest things I can stress. And Christian on his back. Looks like he's going to look for 3 back points for Solon. And he's looking for the pin. This could be it. Minute left. Christian's still working off his back. Doing a good job. And he's out. Great job fighting off your back. And he's looking to go back into that Turk. Not a fun position to be in. He's giving up back points again. Scores 5-0 Solon. 15 seconds left.
When's the sectional tournament? Is that this weekend?
Sectional tournament is not this weekend, but the next.
At Medina
Sectionals
still?
is at Wadsworth.
Wadsworth.
And it
okay.
is one day. Districts this year was at CSU last year and the year before. This year, districts is at Perrysburg.
Perrysburg and Toledo.
Yes.
Okay.
Is it Toledo?
Yeah, it's in Toledo.
Oh. You sure?
Perrysburg. Perrysburg, Toledo.
Really?
Yeah,
I thought it was in
Perrysburg, Ohio.
Columbus.
Yeah. Oh, no.
I think
It's out in Toledo. I'm telling you, it's out in
Really?
Toledo. Yeah. I know it's in Toledo.
And a quick switch here in the third period. So Christian down 9-0. He needs to really get his offense going. Look for a big move here. Are you looking at it?
No, I know it is.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
Very cool.
It's 15 minutes.
So about an hour and a half away.
About an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes out by the Toledo area.
You're from Toledo, right? You go to school there?
No, just I was a student at the University of Toledo. Perrysburg, just a drive down the street from the
Hop,
good
skip, and a
old
jump, I would say.
University of Toledo. Shout out to them. Nor here nor there. Back to the wrestling match.
Shout out to them, bro. And they're out of bounds. Minute 18. Christian really needs to make something happen here in the third period. Looking to go big. Feet to back move. Interviews.
They say it's
It is 9-0. Christian on their feet. Gonna take a quick break from the action now, and I bring it to your winners at 126 and 132 pounds, Jeremy and Ray Porter. Ray, how was that match for you? Can you explain your mindset going into the match?
Oh man, it's senior night. It's a big night for me. My last time wrestling in this gym. I just had it in my head that I'm gonna take it to this kid.
Jeremy, same question. How was your mindset going into that match?
My mindset was set on, positivity. And,
Good answer.
And making sure I do everything right, because I had to bring it home for the fans, for the family, for my teammates, for the coaches, and definitely for the announcers.
Absolutely. Ray Porter, as a state qualifier last year, how important it is to you to get back to that tournament?
Man, last year I came up a little short, one match away from placing. So this season, man, getting on that podium, huge thing for me, and I'm gonna do it.
Absolutely. Jeremy, state was just in your grasp last year. I know it is your goal to be in the finals. Tell us about what more steps you got to take to get to that finals.
That last step is making out of districts, 1st through 4th. That's that step, and working hard and busting my butt in that room, in the wrestling room. So you'll see me at states this year, I promise.
Good, and I'm glad to see you guys there. Jeremy, great talking to you guys.
Thank
Ray,
you.
I hope you guys have a heck of a season. I'm looking forward to see you at states.
Thank you, Mike.
No problem.
Thank you.
Two of Strongsville's key components this year. Ray Porter ranked 8th in the state, I believe. Jeremy is ranked 5th. Two very tough athletes. Good interview. And we are here now, taking at 195 pounds, sophomore Matt Slavic from Strongsville and
From Solon, Jason Garcia.
Matt Slavic got second at the NOC tournament. A sophomore, very, very tough kid. Just comes into the room and gives 110% every day. Was that a good interview?
What?
Was that a good interview? Thanks, Coach.
With some of these heavier weights, when you get into 182 and 95 and 220, it's a different style
The
of
wrestling
wrestling.
starts to change 100%. You see a lot more upper body to leg attacks, right, Matt?
Absolutely. A lot more time to work your setups. A lot more time on your feet looking to take those shots. Getting stuck under those big guys is sometimes challenge to get out.
Normally, these are 1-point matches or pins. You're not going to see a lot of 15 to 20-point matches here. And
nice
Slavic
shot
deep in on
here.
a double. He's going to drive. He needs to settle back, and no score here as Solon manages to scramble out of it.
30 seconds left in the first period.
Solon doing a great job of scrambling out of danger here tonight. For those of you just tuning in, we are live here at Strongsville High School. It is Tuesday night. And we are at the 195-pound weight class. I just want to thank all the fans, friends, and family watching at home. And a takedown at the last second by Solon. And that's going to do it. 2-0 here. That goes down. He needs to stay off his back here. He needs to let go of that leg. He doesn't need that. Just hands and out. And now looking for a reversal. Needs to be careful here. And he looks like he might just get the reversal. Starting to slip him. Starting to come out in front. And that's 2. And he ties it up 2-2. Looking to work his pinning combinations on top. Needs to make sure not to get into that roll. And another reversal from Solon. $106 to $120.
Those 3 forfeits really hurting Strongsville.
As it has been all year. Ray Porter dropped down to 120 for 2 matches, but decided he wanted to go 126 for the rest of the year, I believe, as of now. We do not know his what he wants to do for the sectional tournament. Not a surplus of lightweights anymore.
No.
Time to find those little guys.
Yes.
Oh, and a quick pin from Solon. We have 2 more wrestlers for you tonight. At 220, we have Antonio Ginessi from Strongsville.
And from Solon, Kennard Hairston.
Antonio is also a senior. Started wrestling his junior year. Got tattoos all over his body. Real tough kid. You know, goes in the practice room, gives no grief, just goes there and wrestles every day.
So what's Antonio looking to do? What's his bread and butter here?
Antonio's gonna want to get that front headlock. As soon as the front headlock slips, he's gonna look for that double. So snap to doubles is Antonio's game here. And he's gonna work an underhook right away. Let's see what he does with this. And he goes into a single, a nice single.
Oh.
Ooh. And a little too close to the out of bounds as they get a first start here in the neutral position and the first period.
Love seeing some athleticism out of these big guys.
Right you are.
Very heavy hands on both wrestlers' parts, looking real physical.
Antonio only weighs in at about 195 pounds. But, you know, he said, Coach, if you need me at 220, I'll wrestle 220.
It's great attitude, great attitude, great desire.
And he's going to look for a toss. $45 seconds, still no score.
It's like he's got that front head. He's trying to bring that down to the mat. Needs to snap back in, work the edge.
Needs to pull him back in into the center. And he's getting a little too close for comfort, and that's going to be out of bounds. 32 seconds left. Max, you were wrestled 195 in high school, correct?
I did. I wrestled actually a few of these weights. The weights kind of changed around my senior year, changing from 189 and 215 to 195 and 220.
Watching these lightweights wrestle, and then you yourself having to go out there wrestle 195. Tell us about how different that is from the lighter weights wrestling these big guys.
Well, wrestling these big guys.
Takedown.
Nice takedown by Antonio there.
Ooh, but he manages to lock hands.
He's going to give up that 1 point, as we talked about earlier. But being a bigger guy, you really got to work your bread and butter, just like you do for any weight for that matter. But the bigger guys, my favorite move was always that front head to the snap, and then, the underhook to, to the high crotch. So, just depends on what you like and finding what works for you.
Couldn't agree more. 2-1, Strongsville's lead going into the second period. Antonio wrestled Kennard last weekend at the conference tournament, and he ended up getting pinned in the third period last weekend. Looking to turn it around as he leads 2-1, out of bounds. Coach Al Pacillo looking intensely in the action. Albert Matson on the edge of his seat. Antonio gets a leg. He could score. He needs to pull it in.
He needs to work towards it.
And he does. He needs to drive in on that leg. He needs to pull it in the center. He's in great position now, and he gives it up. He's deepening on an underhook.
He needs to throw that up, jack that up, look for that high crotch, look for that single that he's looking for.
He's a circle to a leg. He lets the underhook go.
Solon had a Russian for a second there.
And they get a fresh start. 2-1, no change in score. Minute 17 in the second period.
Looks like Antonio's banged up here a little bit, looking like his back's giving him some problems.
He's been having injuries with his knees, his back, and his triceps all year. A brief break from the action. Just want to thank our coaches, staff, trainers, and athletic directors for letting us put this all together. Don't you agree, Max?
I agree.
Just want to give a quick thank you, would you? Big thank you to Al Pacillo.
Great coach, great man, really done great things.
Oh, and he gets caught on his back. Antonio needs to fight here. It's not over yet.
Minute left here in the second.
He needs to keep fighting. If he gets out, it's anybody's match. Oh, and he gives up the fall. You just hate to see that happen. Big shout out to Mike Golat, Joe DeLuca, and Albert Matson. Great coaches of the sport. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely.
And who can forget Mr. Porter, Ray Porter? Nope. Just a great coach of the sport also.
Last match of the night, we got heavyweights from Solon, Yusef Russell, and heavyweight Wesley Jones from Strongsville.
Wesley also having a very close match against this opponent. What's his name, Yusef?
Yusef Russell.
Really close match last weekend between these two. Wesley's only a freshman, weighing in at about 214 pounds, wrestling guys that weigh 40 pounds, 30 pounds bigger than him, but he's giving it his all, not backing down from anybody. Wesley's got it locked up. And the fresh start.
Wesley might want to think about trying to drop to a leg there, possibly.
100%. When you're in those big situations, it's not a bad idea at all to just drop low and get that leg. And he's going big again. This could be dangerous.
High.
They're going to be neutral. No takedown awarded.
Saying he's out of bounds there.
Yes.
Last heavyweight to make it to state, was that MJ McCarthy?
MC
McCarthy.
McCarthy. Yes.
Excuse me. His brother MJ was a wrestler in my grade.
He could be in trouble here. Wesley needs to be smart here, and
he gets behind him, just needs a return.
He needs to get back up and get that lift.
Try an ankle trip here.
A heel trip, a lift, anything except that. And they go out of bounds. 0-0. High intensity match again.
Both teams very fired up. Still good to see excitement.
Absolutely.
Very last
Great match
even
here
though Solon's going to take this victory.
And Wesley tries a shock but gets caught on his back. This could be dangerous. 5 seconds. He needs to fight. Nothing yet. 3, 2, 1. Time. Good job fighting off your back, Wes. One of the toughest things to do in the sport, fighting off your back to end a period.
Absolutely. Just like having your back up against the wall. You need to fight. You got to fight.
You set from Solon choosing the bottom position. Wesley has to look for a turn here as he is down 5 points. Oh. What? He's what? What do you mean? He's goofy. He's just goofy. Wesley doing a great job fighting on bottom as he finds the cradle. He brings it back.
Oh.
Nothing yet. Back on his feet. And they're in a big position. This could be dangerous. Wesley needs to be smart. And they're out of bounds. Both teams on the edge of their seat. A lot of intensity here. Woo! Six to nothing. And Wesley looking for a shock. He needs to get that arm off his head.
Behind him, looking to get two here.
He needs to be smart here. He needs to stay in bounds.
Return.
Stay in bounds, Wesley, and he does, and a big lift and a takedown by Wesley Jones. 6-2. What a match. 7-2. Back on their feet. Wesley needs to be smart, not to get discouraged. Not to try anything dumb here. Just not try anything sloppy. Just stay smart. And he's locked up again. He needs to slip that arm, and he does! And another takedown by Wesley Jones. The pandemonium here is electric.
With 40 seconds left in the second period, he needs to ride him out here.
30 seconds. He needs to look for a turn. He tries to find a cradle on the far side.
Trying to lock it up. He needs to jump sides there.
7-4, second period, 25 seconds left. Solon fans and Strongsville fans are on their feet. He's looking for that cradle. He might just get it. It looks like he's got his hands locked. Can't get two. And he's out. 8 seconds. 8 seconds. Just needs to hold him for 4 more seconds. And that's time. Third period. Wesley trailing by 3 points. Wesley choosing the neutral position, both on their feet. 7-4, needs a big takedown. 2 takedowns in a row, or 1 takedown to his back. Solon trying to headlock. Wesley in the position and tosses him to his back. No back points awarded. Kick him out. He needs to let him go and get another takedown before that happens. And a reversal, 2. No back points. He's caught on the edge of the mat. And he gets pinned. Another devastating loss from Strongsville. Solon will go home the victor here tonight. And I'd just like to thank all the fans, coaches, and everybody
Wrestlers.
watching at home, wrestlers, friends, family.
Thank you for a good turnout here tonight. We always appreciate you being with us.
And we'll see you next time. This is Mike Bolger signing off.
And Max Cuevas signing off.
Thank you.